The following is a presentation of Lion's Heart Media. Any use, rebroadcast, or redistribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of Lion's Heart Media is strictly prohibited. White looks to throw. He wants Boyd deep. Help over the top. Boyd adjusts. 1,000 and a score. Wilson drives in. She scores. Jensen, Grayson, give and go. Jensen elevates and she slams it down again. Arlo, top of the box, a drive, and he fires it in. This Concannon hammers the back line. Striplings fires it up. Spencer in space. Just got it. Touchdown, Sarah Catholic. Blocks quick out to Martin. Breaks the tackle. Martin cuts far side. There goes Quinton. See you later. One play. Touchdown, Leopards. Quinton Martin for 6 from 36. The spring season gets underway this afternoon from Commodore Park as it's the 0-0 Frazier Commodores taking on the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. First game of the season here on MVI Live. Alex Lyons with you for all the action here this afternoon. Frazier's cold it out yesterday, I guess the best way to put it, supposed to take on former section foe, the Charleroi Cougars. That game now moved to March 29th, a Saturday afternoon out at Charleroi. So that game will get moved over from yesterday to Saturday the 29th as head coach Donnie Hartman gets his squad moving up from 1A back to 2A after 2 seasons down in the 1A classification. Last year, the Commodores eventually lost in the semifinals to the Carmichael's Mighty Mikes 3-1. Or that was 2 years ago, excuse me. Frazier last year lost early on inside the postseason in the quarterfinals, as Jefferson-Morgan, on the other hand, last year came with a quarterfinal loss to Union. Frazier was able to knock off Jefferson-Morgan 2 years ago inside the inside the quarterfinals. That was a 12-2 victory for Frazier at Peterswood Park in Peters Township. Back from 1A up to 2A goes the Commodores, looking for their 15th straight playoff appearance. They had their streak of 16 straight semifinals come to an end from a season ago as they lost in the quarterfinals last year, as the Commodores with Wash High, Brownsville, along with Bentworth, led by their sophomore sensation pitcher Sidney Gonglick, and along with Cal and Waynesburg Central making up Section 4 of 2A, one of the largest classifications inside the entire WPIL. Frazier, of course, paced by East Tennessee softball commit Grace Vaughn at the hot corner, and they returned 7 starters. One of those starters not in the lineup here this afternoon for the Commodores. That will be Emmy Bednar, not in the lineup with a hand injury for the Commodores, as Frazier will send sophomore Addison Howes back to the bump here this afternoon to start the season against Jefferson-Morgan, who's coming off a quarterfinal loss in 1A, 11-2 to Union. As it's going to be Addie Larkin, the junior, will lead off and play third base. Batting second will be Gabby Marmee. The freshman will be out at shortstop in the 3 spot. It's the first baseman, senior Brooklyn Snyder. Batting cleanup will be the sophomore hurler, Emily Bazzoli. Batting in the 5th spot, Ashlyn Schneider. The sophomore will be out in left field. Batting 6th will be the junior right fielder, Ava Wood. In the 7 hole, it's Carly Crocker. The senior will be at the second base position here this afternoon. Addison Teagarden out in center field. The junior bats 8th, and batting 9th will be Kaylin Novak, the sophomore DP. Batting for her will be Kelsey Vessels, the freshman, she's batting for Kelsey Vessels, the freshman catcher. Larkin, Marmee, Snyder, Bazzoli, Snyder, Wood, Crocker, Teagarden, and Novak, with Vessels playing the field for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. As I mentioned, it is Addison Howes, the sophomore, headed to the circle this afternoon for the Frazier Commodores after a 13-1 season a year ago, lost in the quarterfinals of the WPIAL postseason. As a couple of great performances by Howes inside the circle last year, especially against Jeanette. That's one that really comes to mind for the Commodores. Just a 12-player roster for Frazier. Lost one senior from last year's squad. That was Claire Demakis, as it will be Addie Larkin leading things off for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets against Addison Howes here as we get set to get underway. First softball, first any spring sport game of the season. We're still in the midst of basketball season. We'll be covering some state playoff action on Saturday, making a trip up to Altoona to see Bishop Carroll and Bishop Guilfoyle. Originally supposed to cover South Allegheny, Aliquippa, and Peters Township, South Fayette, but trying to make sure we get everything covered. Moving up and headed to Altoona on Saturday afternoon. We'll have more action tomorrow as we'll have our first baseball game of the season. Brian Zorenda's now 1A Sarah Catholic Eagles will take on the number 5 ranked squad inside of 1A, the Leechburg Blue Devils. So you can join me for that one tomorrow afternoon over at Portview Athletic Facility as Addie Larkin, the junior third baseman, steps in against the sophomore right-hander Addison Howes. Top of the first as first pitch of the season for the Commodore right-hander. We'll have to wait as now Howes gets the go. As Addison Howes toes the rubber, rocks and deals. First pitch, up high, ball one. First pitch for 28 here on an absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon from Perryopolis. Perfect softball, baseball weather, and next week's going to be the exact opposite as the 1-0 by Howes. That one paints the top of the zone. Count now pulls even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out, top of the first inning. And next week we'll probably be lucky to play any baseball, softball, rain, snow. Looking at it all as the 1-1. Finds the zone once again, and Addison Howes quickly moves to a 1-2 count on the leadoff hitter, Addie Larkin. And Jefferson-Morgan last year fell in the quarterfinals to Union. Back-to-back quarterfinal appearances for the Rockets. As the 1-2, strike 3 looking as Addison Howes a first pitch ball and 3 straight strikes, and down goes Larkin to start the afternoon against the sophomore Addison Howes. So 1 up, 1 down here in inning number 1. Top of the first inning, Commodores and the Rockets deadlocked at 0. First game, both sides. First pitch by Howes to the 2-hole hitter, Gabby Marmee, in there. Strike 1 to the freshman, her first high school at-bat. As Addison Howes dealing here in the early going. Scoreless game, Frazier expected to have a lot of gap power this season, a lot of power in general for the Commodores as Howes comes home with it. And that one's lined out to left, drops down in front of the freshman. Zarensky quickly fires it into Saferno. And the freshman first AB, it's a 1-out single for Gabby Marmee, as that will bring up the 3-hole hitter after the 1-out single by Marmee. It's Brooklyn Snyder, the senior first baseman, with Marmee out at first and 1 away against Addison Howes. Howes pitching, Fisher back behind the dish, Burton, Saferno, Hartman, and Vaughn. First to third around the infield as there's strike 1. In the outfield from left to right, Zarensky, Pacabla, and Travalina for the Frazier Commodores. The youth always seems to hit the floor or hit the field early on for the Commodore softball team, as Howes misses low in the dirt, blocked by Fisher. 1-1, 1 out, 1 on. Top of the first inning, scoreless game here. Addison Howes is a freshman last year inside the circle. Saferno saw action freshman and sophomore year. Vaughn and Hartman both 3-year starters, as that one's chopped left side and foul. Out of play for strike 2 on the 3-hole hitter, first baseman Brooklyn Snyder. Pacabla a lot of time as a freshman. Bednar, she was a 3-year starter entering this year. So again, Frazier normally sees an influx of young players come in and play a role immediately, as that one misses up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first base. That's the freshman shortstop, Gabby Marmee. A 1-out single out to the left fielder, Zoe Zarensky. Howes checks the wrist, gets the side. Addison Howes is 2-2 home, and that one misses. Count fills 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first. Scoreless game here in the top of the first. Pitch by Howes, chopped left side, and that one keeps it full at 3-2. Howes gets the sign from Fisher, comes home 3-2 in the dirt, and there's ball 4. So a 1-out single, a 1-out free pass, and it's 2 on with 1 away for the cleanup hitter and pitcher Emily Bazzoli. A chance to help her own cause here in the early going. Frazier will also have a game on Friday here at Commodore Park. I think moving up with that inclement weather, moving from next Wednesday to Friday against Carmichael's. First pitch, a little roller out to Vaughn. Vaughn across the diamond to Burton in time. Both runners advance. 2 down, 2 in scoring position here with 2 away in the top of the first inning as Bazzola a 5-3 ground out to Grace Vaughn over at the hot corner. Marmee to third. Snyder out at second. And now it's Ashlyn Snyder, the sophomore left fielder. As Ashlyn Snyder trying to break this thing open early on, 2 away. First pitch by Howes in there, strike 1 as Addison Howes, multi-sport standout for the Commodores, also part of that Frazier volleyball team that's been so prolific over the past number of seasons. The 0-1. Frazier fell in the district championship game and in the state semifinals to the same foe, Greensburg Central Catholic, who they swept inside the regular season. Almost reverse swept GCC in the state playoffs. As the 1-1 pounds the zone, 1-2. Howes 1 strike away from getting out of this sticky situation here in the top of the first. 2 on, 2 down, scoreless game. Addison Howes, strikeout, single, walk, and a 5-3 ground out. Runners at second and third with 2 away. A 1-2 pitch home by the sophomore. Swing and a foul tip up the first base line by Ashlyn Snyder. Keeps it 1-2 with 2 away. Larkin struck out looking. Marmee a single to the left, and then the walk by Snyder. Both advance. The 1-2 pulls the strings in another foul tip. And the count stays put at 1-2 on Ashlyn Snyder, the sophomore left fielder, continuing to battle inside the box. And Jeff-Morgan won district title to their ledger. That came back in 2015. Another 1-2 as that one misses, no chase. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 away. Scoreless game. The Rockets looking to change that here. Ashlyn Snyder awaits the 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitch by Addison Howes. Chopper stays alive once more. Lone hit goes to Marmee. She stands over at third. Addison Howes, another 2-2 chopper. Right at Grace Vaughn. Vaughn up with it on to Burton. And not in time as Burton off the bag. And that's going to plate 1 for Jefferson-Morgan. So runners at the corners off the air. And it's 1-0 Rockets here in the first. So an E3 puts runners at the corners. Marmee comes in to score. And a chance to add on. Abel Wood, the junior right fielder. Pitch home by Addison Howes. First pitch fouled off, strike 1. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in. Unearned run so far on Addison Howes. And his first base coach here for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets all the way calling off the bag was Burton. And that allowed Ashlyn Snyder to bring in the run of Gabby Marmee, a 1-out single. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in. And it's an 0-2 count now on Ava Wood. 6 batter to come to the plate this inning. 1's crossed, 2 outs, 2 on. As Addison now, she's punched out 1 thus far. The 0-2 offering, swing and a miss, struck her out to end the inning, end the damage. Second strikeout by Howes, but 6 come to the plate. 1 come in to score on 1 hit, 1 error. A pair of Rockets left aboard. And after 1/2 inning, your score, the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets won. The Frazier Commodores coming to bat right here on MVI Live. As we will take a look at that Commodore lineup, down 1-0, looking to get a run back right away is Frazier. Frazier, and it's going to be the pitcher looking to help her own cause, leading things off as Addison Howes, the sophomore pitcher, will bat first. Batting second, the freshman right fielder Zoe Zarensky. In the 3-hole, it's Grace Vaughn for the Commodores, the Commodores East Tennessee State commit, as she will bat third, play third base. Batting cleanup, the sophomore center fielder Grace Pacabla. In the 5 spot, it's the freshman left fielder Emmy Travalina. In the 6-hole, freshman catcher Morgan Fisher. Batting 7th, the senior shortstop Grayson Hartman. Melina Burton, she bats 8th. The junior will play first base. And batting 9th, Jayana Saferno, the junior second baseman for the Commodores. That's Howes, Zarensky, Vaughn, Pacabla, Travalina, and Fisher, with Hartman, Burton, and Saferno rounding out the lineup for the Frazier Commodores. And inside the circle for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets here this afternoon, it is going to be Emily Bozzoli getting the start for Jefferson-Morgan, as Bozzoli loosening up before her first inning of work with a 1-0 advantage. Jefferson-Morgan playing an unearned run here in the top half of inning number 1. First bat of the season for the Commodores, as the Commodores yesterday again cold it out, is the way we're going to phrase it. Supposed to play Shaw. Originally the game we were supposed to cover to start our spring sports season. I made the call a little before they did out at Charleroi to cancel with the cold weather. Didn't want to have the equipment out there, so decided we were going to pivot, especially with today's forecast being so beautiful. And that's what we ended up doing, pivoting here today to start the Commodore season. We'll have Sarah Catholic tomorrow, most likely a rain out Thursday. As first pitch offering, and that one misses low. Ball 1 to the Commodore leadoff hitter Addison Howes. Emily Bozzoli getting the start here for Jefferson-Morgan to start her sophomore campaign. 1-0 Rockets lead the 1-0. Howes ground ball out the first. Stabbed there by Brooklyn Snyder, as it's going to be a 3 unassisted put out of Addison Howes. A rocket down the first base line for out number 1. And Jefferson-Morgan quickly 1 up, 1 down, as it's Brooklyn Snyder at first. Bozzoli pitching, Vessels catching. Out at second, Crocker and Marmee at the shortstop position, with Larkin at the hot corner, Wood, Teagarden, and Ashlyn Snyder left to right in the outfield, as the freshman Zoe Zarensky will take her first high school cut. And a little slap swing down the third base line. There's strike 1 on Zoe Zarensky. Howes, Zarensky, Vaughn, Pacabla, Travalina, Fisher, Hartman, Burton, and Saferno for the Commodores. Jefferson-Morgan, a strikeout, a single, a walk. Advanced 2 runners on a ground out. 1 came in to score, as that one slapped left side foul, and quickly 0-2 on Zarensky. One out, nobody on, 1-0. Jefferson-Morgan leads it here in the bottom of the first inning, as Bozzoli checks the wrist, gets the sign, rocks and deals the 0-2 offering. And that one going to be fouled off the backstop. Count stays put at 0-2, 1 out, nobody on. As Bozzoli trying to put up a 0 here in the home half of inning number 1 with a 1-0 Rocket advantage. An absolutely picture-perfect day to start the spring sports season. Tomorrow might be just even a little better. The 0-2 Zarensky takes. And now 1-2 here on the left-handed hitting freshman right fielder. Trying to get on for Grace Vaughn. Vaughn, the Division I third baseman. And standout outside hitter as well for the Commodore volleyball team. As the 1-2. Zarensky takes strike 3, looking 2 up, 2 down. And quick work made by the Jefferson-Morgan sophomore Bozzoli. First strikeout of the game for Bozzoli. That will bring up Vaughn with the bases empty. Vaughn, plenty of power, plenty of opportunity to send this one to a tied ball game here in the first. Nobody on, and 2 away for Grace Vaughn. Bozzoli, the right-hander, gets the sign from Vessels, rocks and deals. Vaughn takes, and there's strike 1 on Grace Vaughn, as once again Bozzoli gets ahead. 4-year starter for the Commodores as Vaughn swings through that one. 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on as Bozzoli looking to set the side down in order. Jeff Morgan was in the 1A quarters. Frazier was as well last year. Now Doors back up in 2A, the 0-2 to Vaughn. That one misses as Grace works back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Bozzoli, all sorts of success so far here in the first 2 outs. Nobody on. The 1-2 by Bozzoli comes home. Vaughn swings through, strike 3, and Bozzoli sets them down in order. The Commodores go down without a fight. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We've played 1 full here from Commodore Park. Your score, the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets 1, the Frazier Commodores nothing, right here on MVI Live. There's no better way to start your morning than with a fresh cup of coffee, and why not start with the best? 3-time Mon Valley favorite winner, His Place Coffee Community and More, located at 103rd Street in Monessen. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have something for everyone. From our fresh brewed coffee, refreshing cold brews, house-made lattes, fraps, and so much more. If you can't decide 4 days of the week, I'll personally be there to help you craft the perfect drink for your needs. We're also serving up house-made breakfast and lunch paninis, homemade baked goods with gluten and dairy-free options available. We are so much more than just a coffee shop, offering community outreach, including Kids Craft Day and Story Time. There's always something new brewing, and we can't wait to see you at His Place Coffee, Community, and More. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Rockets with a 1-0 lead as we move to the top of the second inning. As Carly Crocker, the senior, will lead things off. Teagarden and Novak will follow. Jefferson-Morgan with an early 1-0 advantage. Unearned run plated in the top of the first inning. As first pitch by Addison Howes misses ball 1 to Carly Crocker, the senior second baseman. 1-0 lead for the Rockets, fouled up over the top, and now the count pulls even 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Addison Howes comes home with it. Crocker, ground ball right side. Past the first base bag, foul. 1-2 count now. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the second inning with the Rockets out in front. Crockard steps back in, 1-2 count on Crockard. Addison Howes comes home with it, the 1-2. Swing, foul, tip. And the count stays put at 1-2. As Crockard will dig back in against Addison Howes, the senior second baseman, looking to start this inning off the right way. 1-0 lead for Jefferson-Morgan. Pitch comes home. That one misses. Count now evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the second inning. Howes comes home with it. Chopper back past the circle, out to Saferno, on to Burton. 1 up, 1 down on the 4-6. And that will be out number 1, bringing up the number 8 hole hitter, Addison Teagarden. 4-6 retiring to Carly Crockard. It's the junior center fielder's turn now to face Addison Howes. Addison 1 walk, surrendered 1 hit and 1 run so far inside the circle as Howes looks in at Teagarden. Pitch comes home by Howes as Addison Howes pounds the zone for strike number 1. Teagarden awaiting the offer. Howes toes, comes home. And Addison Howes misses there. Count evens now 1-1 on Teagarden. Addison Teagarden was part of that team for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets that fell 12-2 to the Commodores in the quarterfinals 2 seasons ago. 1-2 now. These two teams also met in the 2015 season when Jefferson-Morgan went on to beat Chartiers Houston for the championship 3-2 lone district title for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. They dominated the doors that day in the semis 8-1. As down goes Teagarden, 2 up, 2 down, as Addison Howes in a little bit more of a groove here to start the second. Third strikeout now for Addison Howes. So 3 punch-outs for Howes here through an inning and 2/3. Callan Novak, the sophomore DP, batting for Vessels, will dig in as Novak takes strike 1. Howes gets the sign, the 0-1 by Addison Howes. As Addison misses, count evens up 1-1. Coach Donnie Hartman said Howes throwing a little harder this season, moving from her freshman to sophomore campaign for the Commodores. Two-one. As Callan Novak, the sophomore DP, again batting for Kelsey Vessels, the freshman catcher. It's a hefty cut and miss there with 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-0. Rockets lead the doors here in inning number 2. Top half, Howes 2-2 home. And Addison just misses. Count fills up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. 1 run already for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets here on this gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, trying to find some 2-out magic. Payoff pitch by Howes. That one misses, and another Rocket hits the base path. Second free pass issued by Addison Howes so far through 2 innings. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, a hit, and an error against this Commodore Ledger this afternoon. Back to the top of the order, Addie Larkin struck out to start the afternoon. 2 outs, 1 on. Pitch by Howes, swings through it, does Larkin for strike number 1. And Frazier back in action on Friday. They will take on the Mighty Mikes of Carmichael's, who gets to stay down in 1A this year. Jefferson-Morgan in that same section with Carmichael's, Mapletown, Avella, Best Center, and West Green. At Albert Gallatin on the 24th. Next time the Rockets hit the field. At least they're hoping. 2-1 now with 2 outs. Runner at first. 1-0 Jefferson-Morgan out in front. Howes back up on the rubber. The 2-1 by Addison Howes. That one's fouled up, top out of play. Back behind us. Count now even 2-2 on the junior third baseman. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second. 1-0 Jeff Morgan on top. As the 2-2 laced out over the leaping hand of Grayson Hartman. And it's a 2-out base knock for the Rockets. Second hit for Jefferson-Morgan in this contest. And now 2 on with 2 away as a line drive single, a little looper over the head of Addie Larkin. Or Grayson Hartman by Addie Larkin puts runners at first and second with 2 away. Gabby Marmee, who's already 1 for 1 with the lone run scored, will step to the dish. The freshman, a single and a run scored in her first trip to the plate in her high school career. As the first pitch home by Howes, that one's lined down the right field line, and that one's going to get the stands out of play for strike 1 on the freshman Marmee. Addison Howes trying to figure things out again against the freshman. Gabby Marmee will dig back in. 2 on, 2 out, 0-1 count on Marmee against Addison Howes. Howes comes home with it. Liner past Howes, past a diving Saferno, out to center, rounding third. In to score is Novak. Now Howes got the secondary runner caught down, but diving back safely was Larkin at second. So Marmee, talk about a way to start your high school career, going 2 for 2, a run scored in Alaribby. And it's 2-0 Jefferson-Morgan. Larkin to second. Novak in to score. Run number 2, 2 innings, 2 runs in for the Rockets as Jefferson-Morgan up by a pair here in the top of the second after quick work, a 4-6 put out and a strikeout. They'll turn their attention to the southpaw. It's going to be Brooklyn Snyder. Drew a walk, stranded at third last inning. Pitch by Howes. That one misses, ball one. And just the first game of the season. Want to take it with a grain of salt probably if you're the Commodores, but not what you're hoping to see out of Addison Howes here this afternoon. As that one slammed off the backstop, and glad the Spider Mountain in its first test of the season held true. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, 2 on, 1-2, Rockets out in front. Addison Howes surveys the 1-1. That one slap foul off the roof just behind the Jeff Morgan dugout. 1-2 now, 2 outs, 2 on. Can Addison Howes work out of this with just a non-crooked number on the board? 2-0, Rockets out in front. 1-2 by Addison Howes. That one misses. Count pulls even once again. 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. 2-0. Jefferson-Morgan leads here in the top of the second. 2s all around as the Commodores sophomore Howes trying to work out of this sticky situation once again. 2-2 line. Past Grace Vaughn down the left field line. Gets past the left fielder Javelina all the way in. A pair comes in to score on the throw. Going to third is going to be Brooklyn Snyder. So a double and on the throw, Snyder advances. 2 more Rockets touch home, and Jefferson-Morgan leads it 4-0. As a liner past the third baseman, Vaughn allows Larkin to score run number 3. Marmee comes around to score run number 4. A 2-run double by Brooklyn Snyder. And it's a 4-0 lead for Jefferson-Morgan. Walking 3 straight hits for the Rockets has them up 4-0. Nice swing and a miss. 0-2. Nash chopper. This time Vaughn has it. Across it goes to Burton. As 5-3 will end the inning, but the damage has been done. 3 runs come across on 3 hits, a walk, no errors, and 1 Rocket left aboard. Jefferson-Morgan domination through 1.5 as they lead the Commodores 4-0 after 1.5 innings of play. Again, Frazier got the first 2 outs that inning, and then Jefferson-Morgan went to work, a walk and 3 straight hits for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets, and the Rockets a trio on the board. Commodores look like they were in smooth sailing in the second. Now the bats are going to have to come to life as we head to the bottom of inning number 2 with Jefferson-Morgan up by 4. As they will once again meet Bozzoli. Emily Bozzoli went 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts first time through the order. Going to face 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the order. Pacabla, Travelina, and Morgan Fisher. Sophomore, freshman. So a youth movement in the heart of this order for Frazier. Sophomore, freshman, senior. Sophomore, freshman, senior, junior. The way the Commodore order reads as the Rockets out in front 4-0. And Frazier kind of thought this was going to be the easier of the 2 this week if you were going to have an easier 2 games. Not anything against Jefferson-Morgan, obviously a quarterfinal qualifier, but you figured Carmichael was the better of the 2 teams. And right now, Jefferson-Morgan doing damage against the Commodores through 2 innings. Bats are going to have to come to life. This is a team expected to hit this year. Unearned run and then 2-out magic for Jefferson-Morgan, who leads it 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. Grace Pacabla looking for the first Doors hit of the season. First pitch by Bozzoli. Pacabla slams it off the fence foul in front of the Doors bench. 0-1 count here on Grace Pacabla. 4-0 Rockets lead. Pitch home. Pacabla, a little looper into the glove of Vessel. Stays with it all the way. A P2 and 4 up, 4 down against Bozzoli. As again, the quick work continues in the circle for the Rockets sophomore. Emmy Travelina, the freshman left fielder, will see her first cut of her high school career. Coach Hartman said this is going to be an absolutely huge bat in the lineup this year. She swings through that one for strike one. Travel ball player is Travelina. As Coach Hartman says, seen a plethora of good pitching throughout her travel ball career. She'll be ready for this tough section pitching slate. Is another pop-up. Right side of the infield. Nobody going to get there. Looked like a late jump for Bozzoli, and the first baseman, Brooklyn Snyder, well out of her reach, charging down the line. And the count now 0-2 here on Emmy Trevina. And Travelina trying to get on board. Commodores looking for their first base runner of the game. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out offering. 1-2 now on Travelina. One out, nobody on here, bottom of the second. 4-0 Rockets lead the 1-2. 2-2 now. There's Travelina making Bozzoli throw a few pitches again. Emmy Bednar not in the lineup for the Commodores with an injury. And she was a 3-year starter for Frazier entering her senior season. The 2-2 offering home. As Travelina down the first base line. That one's going to get up over the fence. And the count stays put at 2-2 on Travelina. Morgan Fisher, the freshman catcher, on deck. Two home to Travelina. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4-0 Rockets lead. As Travelina will dig back in for the Commodores. Bozzoli checks the wristband, gets the sign. Payoff pitch by Emily Bozzoli to Travelina, looking to get her 5th straight out recorded to start the game. And we'll have to wait on that as it rolls foul into the glove of Brooklyn Snyder down the first base line. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Rockets lead. Payoff pitch to Travelina. Up over the top, count stays full. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Rockets lead. And on tap tomorrow on the network, it will be the Sarah Catholic Eagles. They will be taking on the Leechburg Blue Devils. Another payoff pitch. Travelina, looper into the glove of the shortstop, Marmee. 2 up, 2 away. Make it 5 up, 5 down to start the game. Now Morgan Fisher, the freshman catcher, will dig in. Two outs, nobody on, bottom of the second. 4-0 Rockets on top as Jefferson-Morgan trying to put up another 0. And there's a good start. Strike 1 by the right-hander Bozzoli. Oh, 1. Stops up high, 1-1 now on Fisher. Bozzoli has had to throw a few more pitches this inning, but again, Commodores still without a base runner here through an inning and 2/3, down by 4. 1-1 and slapped that. A little chop at the ball for strike 2. Weather may have warmed up from yesterday to today, but the Commodore bats have stayed with yesterday's weather. Ice cold here to start in their home opener, down 4-0. 1-2. Right side grounder. Count stays put. 4-0 Rockets, bottom of the second. 3 of those runs are earned. 4 hits for Jefferson-Morgan. Commodores yet to have a base runner. 2 walks also issued by the Commodore sophomore. Bozzoli's 1-2 home. As ground ball left side, stabbed by Marmee across the diamond, not in time. And Morgan Fisher with a 2-out infield single for the freshman. First hit of the young season for the Commodores and the first hit of her high school career for Morgan Fisher. As Fisher, the catcher, will stay in to run again. Commodores will send things over to their senior shortstop, another 4-year starter, volleyball standout as well, Grayson Hartman. Bozzoli comes home with it to Grayson, swing and a miss, strike 1. Bozzoli at first, 2 away, Hartman at the dish. The third and final Hartman to come through this program. 0-1, runner goes low in the dirt, and it's going to be a stolen base for the freshman Morgan Fisher. So the Commodores, a runner in scoring position for Grayson Hartman. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Morgan Fisher stands at second. One to Hartman, and swing and a miss. Grayson trying to bring Morgan Fisher back home. 1-2 on Grayson Hartman. One-two count, runner at second, 2 outs. Commodores trying to get on the board. Larkin playing in at third as that one up high. Count evens on Hartman. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 4-0 Rockets lead. Bottom of the second inning here on MVI Live. Bozzoli's 2-2 offering. Hartman waits. In their third, Hartman goes down with the bat on her shoulder to end the frame as Jefferson-Morgan through 2 full innings. Up 4-0, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Commodores strand 1 and are down by 4 after 2 here on MVI Live as Jefferson-Morgan looks to keep the good times rolling. 1 in the first, 3 in the second. The Rockets head to the bat rack, and a word from our friends at TC Customized for all of your wheel, rims, tire needs, along with lift kits and lowering kits. TC Customized has you covered, detailing full auto services and more. Call 412-384-5300 and see what TC Customized can do for you. Again, plenty of services from our good friends at TC Customized, whether it be audio systems, remote starts, alarms, custom lightings, tints, accessories. Again, complete custom car audio. Make sure you check out our good friends at TC Customized right down on 51 in Jefferson Hills, right next to our other good friends at Phased Up Nutrition. We'll hear from them later on. Big shout out to our 2 friends down in the Jefferson Hills area supporting us on MVI Live. And, of course, His Place Coffee Community, more one of our other sponsors. More coming as this week in the season gets underway. You can come hang out with me tomorrow at the coffee shop if you want. And we'll see what I can make you. So if you want to come check out any of our sponsors, can vouch for basically them all. I've been inside TC Customized, seeing their work. It's incredible. Haven't personally got anything done there, but absolutely beautiful work. Phased Up Nutrition, I've used their product. It's been fantastic. As fantastic military-owned small business right on 51. As Addison House up 1-0. Ashlyn Snyder, Ava Wood, and Carly Crocker to start the third frame. Ashlyn Snyder grounded out to Vaughn over at third. Her first trip to the dish. Vaughn threw it across to Burton, and Burton not on the bag. That allowed the opening run of the game to scoring Gabby Marmee, making it 1-0 Jefferson-Morgan, who leads now by 4. As Howes misses once more. Pitch home, ground ball right side down the first base line. As that one foul, Jayana Ciferno had one sneak under her earlier today. Addison Howes, the 2-2 offering. Up and over, count stays even. Howes got the first 2 out to start the second. Then it was a walk, a single, and a double before a inning-ending ground out. 3 balls have already been sent the way of the third baseman, make it 4. 2 have recorded out, 1 resulted in an error, the other brought in 2 runs. 2-2 up high. A lot of full counts here in this opening day matchup between the Rockets and the Commodores from Commodore Park. And can't complain being back outside again, as there's ball 4, third inning in a row with a walk for the Commodore sophomore. This time it starts the party. The third batter of each inning has walked through the opening 2. As Ava Wood, she struck out to end inning number 1 against Addison Howes. And Howes 3 straight outside the strike zone. Yeah, and what's up next for us on MVI Live? And we'll be at Sarah Catholic tomorrow over at Portview Athletic Association for the Sarah Catholic Eagles, their 3rd game of the year. A little looper. Burton comes in on it, grabs it, tag for 1, throw to second, and dropped by Hartman. So it's going to be a 3 unassisted put out. Snyder advances to second base, but the Commodores almost had 2. As 1 out runner in scoring position. Great play by Burton. A little low on the throw, but in still enough time, Hartman just could not corral it in the glove. Trying to put the tag down on Ashlyn Snyder, who's out at second base now. And Jefferson-Morgan for the 3rd straight inning has a runner in scoring position. As that one's laced right at Pacabla. The sophomore makes the grab, tagging up, going to third is Snyder on the fly out. So an F8 by Crocker. She's now 0 for 2. So on the F8, Ashlyn Snyder advances. 2 outs, runner at third. Every run Jefferson-Morgan scored today has been with 2 outs. Teagarden tries to add another ground ball. Ciferno in for the first time today. The Commodores are able to put a goose egg on the board for 3 of the retirement there as Jayana Ciferno. Over to Burton. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and another batter left aboard for Jefferson-Morgan. They've stranded 4 through 3 innings of play. Your score after 2.5, the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets for the Frazier Commodores. Coming to bat, still looking for their first run of the game. Got their first hit last inning, stranded a runner out at second base, and now hoping 3rd time's the charm against the sophomore Emily Bozzoli, who has been brilliant thus far, surrendering just 1 infield single. Has got a trio of strikeouts to her ledger as well. A pair of pop-ups, 1 to the catcher, 1 to the shortstop, and a hard liner by Howes to the first baseman, Brooklyn Snyder. That was the hardest hit ball of the game against the Rocket sophomore right-hander, who's loosening back up in the bump. As we start the home half of inning number 3, can the Commodores come alive? And you got to wonder if, you see pitchers like Bozzoli with a very animated motion, going to stay on her a little longer as she gets set to deliver this pitch. But when you see these more animated kind of motions, does it affect the hitter more, make it harder to time it up? And I know it's a bit of a timing thing for the pitcher as well, and one that really comes to mind that was more exaggerated by a lot, and that's saying a lot with how much. Again, we'll take a look at how Bozzoli's throwing in her windup, but the most exaggerated one I've ever seen, and she was absolutely lethal, was Brina Karmerninski from South Allegheny. That was a team that probably, if they got by Deer Lakes, would have won a district title. I am without certain. I mean, that was one of the better teams in the area at this time. I mean, that lineup was absolutely lethal, and they were so close to coming away and coming back against Deer Lakes as Burton goes fishing, comes up without a bite, and now 2-1. Amelina Burton, the junior first baseman. It's 8-9-1. Burton, Saferno, and Addison House as we'll head back to the top of the Commodore order. Two-one pitch to Burton, pops it up, and the count now evens from 2-0 to 2-2. As Commodores still looking for their first run of the game, down 4-0. As Burton fouls another off. Two balls, two strikes, 4-0 Rockets lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Just one hit for the Commodore attack this afternoon. Pulls the strings and the count full now, 3-2. No outs and nobody aboard. Emily Bozzoli, the payoff pitch. Commodores looking to get the leadoff hitter the first time today as that one misses up high, and it's a well-drawn walk by the Commodore 8-hole hitter, Melina Burton. As Burton gets aboard, and the Commodores for the first time this afternoon have the leadoff hitter aboard for the second leadoff hitter, the 9-hole hitter, Jayana Saferno. Saferno fouls it off underneath that one into the backstop for strike one by Jayana. One on, nobody out. 0-1 count here on Saferno, the junior second baseman. As into the wide, the pitch comes home by Bozzoli. Saferno out towards the gap, dropping down, ranging over is Ava Wood. And no problem for Wood on the F7. So Wood retires for out number one. Runner stays put at first. Back to Addison Howes, lined out hard to the first baseman, Brooklyn Snyder. So Addison Howes trying to help her own cause here. Third baseman playing in off the bag in Larkin. Howes, ground ball right side. Burton has to range around. Crocker goes to short for one. And at the back end, safe at first is Addison Howes, as it's going to be a retirement of Burton that goes down 4-6. Crocker DeMarmy reaching first on the fielder's choice is Addison Howes. So the Commodores still one on now with two away, and that will turn things back to Zoe Zarensky, the slap hitting right fielded freshman. As Zarensky trying to keep the line moving. As Zarensky fouls it up over top there, strike one on Zoe Zarensky. Try to get aboard, try to get two on for Vaughn and then Pacabla. You can do that, maybe you're right back in this thing if you're the Commodores down by 4. Got to put some runs on the board if you're Frazier. Haven't come close really in this one. As that one gets away, Howes takes off. High throw gets into center. Backing up, though, was Teagarden. So on the pitch in the dirt, Addison Howes advances to second. So a runner in scoring position for the second straight inning for Frazier. It's a 1-1 count here on the lefty Zarensky. How's at second? Commodores trying to send order in motion. The 1-1. Zarensky stabs at it, now 1-2. Emily Bozzoli looking to finish this inning off unscathed. The 1-2 to the freshman Zarensky. Slap right back up the middle. Diving. Zarensky beats it out. And runners at the corners now with 2 away for the Commodores. Zarensky hustling down the line, beats the throw by Crocker, who had a slide down to a knee. Addison Howes goes to third, and Grace Vaughn, the East Tennessee softball commit, a chance to get the Commodores on the board. 2 infield singles for Frazier. Now Vaughn looking to bring the first run in. Grace takes ball 1. Addison Howes over at third. Zarensky at first. Grace Vaughn at the dish trying to get the Commodores on the board. Pitch comes home. Vaughn takes, gets away. Howes a game of cat and mouse. No throw will come for Vessels. And now 2-0 and Grace Vaughn in a hitter's count here trying to get the Commodores their first run of the game. Vaughn will dig back in. 2 outs, 2 on, 2-0 count on Grace Vaughn. Howes at third, Zarensky at first. Larkin playing in at the corner. As Vaughn lines it down the right field line, fair ball. In comes Howes. Vaughn to second, ball out of play. It's a book roll double and an RBI for Grace Vaughn and the Commodores. Their first extra base hit of the season as Grace Vaughn, a 2-out RBI double. So an RBI book roll double for Grace Vaughn, and now the ever dangerous sophomore Grace Pacabla. So Pacabla, a hit away from driving in a pair. Pulls the string, strike 1. Grace Vaughn out at second has brought in the lone Commodore run of the afternoon. Pacabla check swing, no swing. Two on, 2 out, 1 in. 1-1 count on Grace Pacabla. Bozzoli, 1-0, misses as well, make it 2-1 now. Vaughn at second, Zarensky at third, as Grace crushed one down the right field line. Out of play off the fence down there for the book roll double for Grace Vaughn. Pacabla in a 2-1 count, 2 outs, 2 on. Frazier 1 hit away from making it a 1-run affair. Pacabla roller out to Larkin across in time. Addie Larkin. 5-3 retires Pacabla. The Commodores do break the goose egg off the board. They get 1 on a pair of hits, a walk, no errors, and they strand 2, but Frazier on the board, and it's 4-1 after 3 full right here on MVI Live.
It's time to level up your fitness game with Phase Up Nutrition in Jefferson Hills. Veteran-owned and operated Phase Up has been providing the community with top-quality vitamins and supplements with a priority in providing exceptional customer service. When you walk into Phase Up Nutrition, you'll get one-on-one help tailored to your specific goals. We carry a wide variety of workout supplements, pre-workout and post-workout formulas, and all types of vitamins. Come by Phase Up Nutrition today. Phase Up Nutrition, here to help you surpass those unimaginable goals.
3 in the books, top of the 4th. The Rockets up by a trio. Scored the opening 4. Commodores were able to battle back with 1 in the home half of the 3rd inning. Game number 1 for both sides. (9-1-2). Novak, who walked and scored the 2nd run. Larkin, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored. And Gabby Marmee, who's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a ribby. All due up this inning. First pitch, strike 1, fired in there by Addison Howes. No clean innings so far for Howes. Danger all over the base path every inning. Runner in scoring position every single inning. There was a runner stranded at 3rd in the last inning. 1 left aboard in the 2nd and 2 left aboard in the 1st. Runners coming in to score in the opening 2 frames for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. (1-1) by Addison Howes, and going chasing upstairs for strike 2 was Callan Novak, the sophomore. As off the rise, count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, pitch home by Addison Howes. That one evens things up 2-2. Here on the top of the 4th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, pitch by Howes, and Addison misses upstairs again. Count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Howes has walked 1 batter each of the first 3 innings thus far. Payoff pitch by Addison Howes, chopper, right side pass Burton, and it's going to be a 4 unassisted putout, as getting to the bag was Jayana Saferno off the step, so 1 up, 1 down. Jayana Saferno takes care of business for out number 1. Top of the 4th, 1 out, nobody on. Pitch by Howes, swing and a miss, strike 1. Larkin, strikeout looking to start the game. Single and scored the 3rd run of the game through her 2 trips to the dish thus far for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. Big hit came off the bat of Brooklyn Snyder, a 2-run double in the 2nd. Breaking open to a 4-0 advantage at that juncture. Outer 3rd misses, and the count now pulls even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 4th. 3-run advantage for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets here at the Commodores home opener. Howes comes home, the 1-1. It's a rise upstairs, now 1-2. Or 2-1, excuse me. Howes, the libero on the volleyball team. 3-1. Addison, normally known for her control, but she has struggled with that here this afternoon in the first game of the season. As control has absolutely been an issue for the young right-hander. 3-1. Fouled off, count full. Howes checks the sign, 1 out, nobody on. Down by 3 are the doors to the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. Payoff pitch, Howes misses up high, and there's the 4th inning with a walk now for Addison Howes. Her 4th walk issued through 3 1/3 innings, as Larkin aboard for the 2nd time this afternoon, and Gabby Marmee, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 2 runs scored and a run batted in, will step to the plate for her 3rd opportunity of the afternoon. Snyder is yet to be recorded out as well. That one low, blocked by Fisher, ball 1. The 1-0 by Howes. That one lined out, but Kabla in center ranges in, makes the grab. Marmee retired for the first time today. Strong throw in by Pacabla. Still a tick late. Was looking for the twin killing to end the inning, but an L8 by Marmee to Grace Pacabla. 2 outs, 1 on. Now Brooklyn Snyder, 2-run double. Last trip to the dish was stranded a third, both in the first and the second for the lefty. Howell's trying to put up back-to-back zeros, and there's a little flare. Howell's range is back, and it is back-to-back zeros and back-to-back hitless innings for Howell's. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk. And now the Rockets have stranded 5 runners through 3.5 innings. And Frazier will look to inch a little closer. Picked up 1 in the third. Can they add another in the fourth after back-to-back zeros on the board by the Frazier Commodores as we head to the home half of inning number 4. And it's going to be Travalina who popped out to the shortstop Marmee in the second. Fisher, who has an infield single, and Grayson Hartman, who struck out with Fisher at second and 2 away. Home half of the 4th inning here on MVI Live. Hits 4-3 in favor of the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. Commodores an unearned run against in the first. And then a 2-out 3 spot, 3 straight 2-out hits after a 2-out walk for Jefferson-Morgan has broken this one open. It was 4-0 at that point. Commodores were able to strike one back on a book roll RBI double by Grace Vaughn as the Frazier Commodores look to inch ever closer here in this one. And we'll see Sarah Catholic tomorrow taking on Leechburg. That's our first baseball game of the season. Looking forward to seeing Coach Sorenda's Sarah Catholic Eagles. And then praying the weather decides not to do what it's supposed to next week and we can get back to a full accompaniment of games as a little looper, no problem. Yes, it is. Brooklyn Snyder. And Brooklyn Snyder livid at Crockett. Should have been no problem. It's going to be an E3 to start the inning as Travalina will get aboard as, getting a little ahead of myself as a P3E3. So Travalina aboard as that should have been an easy out for the Rockets. And Crocker got right next to Brooklyn Snyder. And again, Snyder was not happy about that fake snap throw by Vessels. We'll put it in her pocket. First hit of the game for the Commodores belonged to Morgan Fisher, an infield single. She's at the dish now. One on, nobody out. Frazier down by a trio here on this gorgeous Tuesday afternoon as Fisher takes 0-2. As that one paints the bottom third of the strike zone. 4-1, Jefferson-Morgan leading Frazier here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 in the first, 3 in the second. Scoreless the last 2. Scoreless in the first 2, 1 in the third. Can Frazier match that trend and add 3 here in the 4th? As knowing all the way, half-hearted, reluctant swing through the pitch up out of the zone for the punch-out. As Morgan Fisher goes down, another victim. 4th strikeout for Emily Bazzoli. Now Grayson Hartman will dig in. Grayson struck out looking with a runner in scoring position to end the second. On a pitch basically in the same spot as that as Hartman takes strike 1 on the inner third. Travalina out at first. Hartman at the dish. 0-1, Hartman out in front of that one off the inside part of the barrel, pulling that one down the third base line. Foul. Now 0-2 on Grayson Hartman. And the Hartman started with Logan, who wore 44, Jensen 33, Grayson 22, moving down from their dad Donnie's number where Logan started, and then take 11 off the rest of the way down now to Grayson. The 0-2, Hartman, 0 for 2. Pair of punch-outs for Grayson Hartman here this afternoon. So back-to-back strikeouts after the E3. As Bazzoli trying to pick up her first baseman, Brooklyn Snyder. Melina Burton walked and was retired on a 4-6 fielder's choice in her first trip to the dish against Emily Bazzoli. Ground ball left side, sneaks past the third baseman Larkin. Marmee throws it wide of the bag. Burton will be safe on the play. Travelina heads the third, so the Commodores off a rocket error has runners at the corners for Gianna Saferno. Second error this inning on Jefferson-Morgan, who have played clean softball up until the fourth. Can the Commodores find another two-out hit? Gianna Saferno flew out to the left fielder Ava Wood. Shallow left center first time through. A lot of room down the left field line if Saferno can turn on one. And Gianna back the other way. That finds the center field gap. Teagarden over. Burton will head to third. It's a two-out single for Saferno. As Saferno on the throw will head to second. So the Commodores a two-out RBI again. Gianna Saferno gets the Commodores within a pair in the tying run. Now out at second base, Gianna Saferno. An RBI opposite field single. And Addison Howes a chance to help her own cause. Unearned run comes in to score the second run of the game for Frazier. Error, back-to-back strikeouts, error and a single, and it's strike one now on Addison Howes. Grounded out to the first baseman, then a fielder's choice that went 4-6. Came in to score the first run of the game for Frazier. Second run brought in thanks to that girl right there, Gianna Saferno. 0-1 to Howes. Howes takes low, picked in the dirt by Vessels. Moves even 1-1. Commodores a chance. Cut the deficit down to one or even tie with a base hit with two in scoring position. Saferno at second. Burton at third. Chopped at, fouled. Addison Howes now down on the count 1-2. Bottom of the fourth inning. 4-2, Jefferson-Morgan on top of Frazier. Bozzoli, one hit allowed with 3 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. 2 more strikeouts this inning, but has allowed another run. It's an unearned one against Bozzoli. Both pitchers, 1 unearned run to their ledger. Frazier looking to add some more. Great job by Vessels getting up out of the crouch and keeping Burton at bay. Count now evens up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Addison Howes. Can Howes plate a couple more for the Commodores? Burton at third, Saferno at second. 1 in, 2 outs. The 2-2, 2-out offering. Howes stays alive off the knob or off the end of the bat. Down to third base line into head coach Donnie Hartman in his 8th season at the helm of Frazier. And Howes can really help her own cause here with a big 2-out knock. The 2-2. Howes takes, count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 aboard. Commodores down by 2, 4-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. Can Frazier even it up with Addison Howes here against Jefferson-Morgan, bottom of the fourth inning. 4-2 advantage, another pitch home. Howes in the air, right field. Snyder drops in front of her. Burton scores. Saferno touches home, and the Commodores with some 2-out magic. A 2-out, 2-run single for Addison Howes, and we're dead even. As Addison Howes, a 2 RBI single, and Howes brings home both Burton and Saferno as that one drops down in front of Ashlyn Snyder out in right, and the Commodores a 3 spot here in the fourth. Addison Howes bringing home the Commodores' 3rd and 4th runs of the game as Arensky digs in, now up 1-0 in the count. Addison Howes helping her own cause. 2, 3, and 4 all unearned against the right-hander. 2 errors this inning on Jefferson-Morgan. As Arensky grounded out to third, Larkin across in time, and that will end the inning, but the damage, it has been done. As here in inning number 4's home half, the Commodores have worked it even. 3 runs. They do it on just a pair of hits. 2 errors in the inning, and the Commodores will strand 1 as Arensky retired on the 5-3. 7 come to the plate, 3 come in to score. Jefferson-Morgan scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, scoreless in the third and fourth. The Commodores scoreless in the first and second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and we are tied at 4 after 4 right here on MVI Live.
It's time to level up your fitness game with Phase Up Nutrition in Jefferson Hills. Veteran-owned and operated Phase Up has been providing the community with top-quality vitamins and supplements with a priority in providing exceptional customer service. When you walk into Phase Up Nutrition, you'll get one-on-one help tailored to your specific goals. We carry a wide variety of workout supplements, pre-workout and post-workout formulas, and all types of vitamins. Come by Phase Up Nutrition today. Phase Up Nutrition, here to help you surpass those unimaginable goals.
4 in the books, top 5, and it's a 4-4 ball game. Commodores have out-hit Jefferson-Morgan 5-4 in this game after not getting a base runner through the opening inning in 2/3. Took a 2-out second inning single to get the Commodores their first runner of the game. As Frazier, Addison Al's first time since 0-Z, working with a clean slate, but it's a lead-off opposite field single by Emily Bozzoli, trying to get the lead right back. First hit of the game for the sophomore Bozzoli, and just like that, the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets have the go-ahead run back on base. 5th hit of the game for Jeff Morgan, who have scored all 5 runs, or all 4 runs, actually, in general, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back and check. It's ground ball, wait on that, as it eats up Grayson Hartman, as no chances. That one took a terrible hopple, slow roller, and bounces right into the glove of Hartman. We're going to give it a single to Ashlyn Snyder there. No way to give an error on that play, as that one was a perfect roller, then hit a rock and just jammed up into the chest of Grayson Hartman. So back-to-back hits to start the game, but all 8 runs have been scored with 2 outs here this afternoon. Two on, nobody out. First pitch, swing a little roller down the line. Burton Fields, no play. And the bases are loaded for the Rockets to start the 5th with nobody out. Bozzoli at third, Snyder at second, Ava Wood at first. Carly Crockard, ground out and a fly out. Go ahead run at third base, 60 feet away in a tie game in the 5th. Ground ball, Saferno goes home for 1. So a fielder's choice for out number 1, Jayana Saferno comes home with it, fires a strike, and Crockard reaches on the fielder's choice as Bozzoli retired on the 4-2. Great play there by Jayana Saferno. Ashlyn Snyder heads to third. On to second is Wood. Bases loaded, now 1 away. And stepping in will be Addison Teagarden. Strikeout and ground out to Saferno in the 2nd and 3rd innings respectively. Infield playing in around the diamond for the Doors. Pitch home by Addison Howes. Outer third just misses, and it's 1-0 on the right-handed hitting Addison Teagarden. The junior center fielder 0 for 2 today. Hoping the 3rd time's the charm. Howes has walked a batter every single inning. Nowhere to put Teagarden. And she has struggled with control here this afternoon. Chopper up over the top of me and out of play, now 2-1. Four game, top 5, bases loaded, 1 out, 2-1 count on Addison Teagarden. Strikeout, ground out. And the count evens up at 2-2. Big pitch there by Addison Howes. Howes' strikeout would be monumental here. 2-2 by House. Ground ball past a diving Hartman. Into score comes Snyder. Wood won't follow suit as the quick throw back in, but it's an RBI single, and the Rockets retake the lead. As into score comes Ashlyn Snyder from third. 5th run of the game for Jefferson-Morgan. Now it's Callan Novak, a walk and a 4 unassisted putout. Ground ball to first that got under the glove of Burton over to Saferno. One ball, one out. Bases loaded, 1 run in. 2-0 now. Already walking one was Callan Novak. Two-0 by Addison House. Chopper right side, now 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 in. 5-4 Rockets lead. They have not trailed in this ball game. Frazier was able to tie in the home half of the 4th, but the Rockets retake the lead in the 5th, scoring the first run with less than 2 outs as Howes works it even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases still loaded. 3 straight singles to start, a fielder's choice and an RBI single. 2-2 count here on the right-handed hitting Callan Novak. Pitch comes home. Count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Base is full of Rockets. Howes has walked 4 through 4 1/3. Payoff pitch fouled off. We'll do it once more. Jefferson-Morgan on the precipice of possibly really breaking this one wide open. Payoff pitch by Howes, and that one misses. Ball 4, and the Rockets get a run walked in, making it 6-4. Second time Callan Novak has drawn the free pass. Give her an RBI as well. As coming in to touch home for run number 6 for the Rockets is Ava Wood. On to third, Crocker. Teagarden now out at second. Back up top, Larkin. Strikeout, single, and a walk. As Conclave at the pitching circle, Commodores trying to work things back in their favor after finding a way to knot it up. Conclave breaks. Commodore struggling here on the defensive side of things. Again, Addison House, very good placer of the softball. That has not been the case so far here today. Addie Larkin. First pitch by Addison House. Ground ball. Hartman up with it on to home and in time. Grayson Hartman able to fire out Carly Crocker going for the plate. And it's a 6-2 retirement of Crocker. Teagarden goes to third, Novak to second, and a fielder's choice puts Larkin at first. And now Gabby Marmee. 2 for 3, an RBI and 2 runs scored. 2 outs, bases loaded. Frazier needs to find a way to keep this just a 2-run deficit. Addison Howes gets strike 1. Howes hasn't struck out a batter since the 2nd inning. She's issued 5 free passes today. Does have 2 runs batted in as well. Rise misses, 1-1 now. Jeff Morgan up 6-4 over Frazier here in the top of the 5th inning. Chopper, third, Vaughn up with it, goes across, and there's Travelina. There was a substitution for the Commodores. Burton went out to right. Zarensky over to left and Travelina to first. She'll make the grab there, so 5-3 does retire the inning, and we'll head to the bottom of inning number 5. But Jefferson-Morgan will pick the lead right back up. They had 2 runs. They do it on 3-4 hits. There was a walk in the inning, and the Rockets lead. The bases loaded. Jefferson-Morgan has left runners aboard every inning so far today. Jefferson-Morgan with 8 runners left aboard through 5 innings of play. 8 hitters come to the plate, 2 touch home. Could have been a lot worse for Frazier, but the Commodores find themselves in the back seat once again, down by a pair. As we mentioned, that housekeeping for the Commodores was Travelina now at first base, and headed out to right field is going to be Burton, with now playing in left field Zoe Zarensky for the Frazier Commodores. As Frazier was able to even it, and now they trail once more as we head to the home half of inning number 5 here on MVI Live. As Bozzoli gave up 3 unearned runs last inning, now has the lead right back. Teams have not scored in the same inning yet today. Grace Vaughn will be at the dish. 1 for 2, a 2-run book roll double, or a 1-run book roll double with 2 outs in the third, and a strikeout in her first trip to the dish. Way out in front is pulling the strings on that one was Bozzoli. Oh, 1 home. Vaughn, ground ball left side. That one gets wide of the third base bag. Now 0-2 on Grace Vaughn. It's 3-4-5. Vaughn, Pacabla, Travelina. Combined 1 for 6 with an RBI and a double and a run score. Travelina reached on an E3, scored the second run of the game for the Commodores. 0-2 to Vaughn. And again, out in front, strikeout number 6 for Emily Bozzoli. Four of the 6 have been swinging, for the Commodores. Zarensky and Hartman the lone strikeout looking as Pacabla, hot shot. Snyder up with it, no problem. This time, you can say that truthfully. 2 up, 2 down. As Brooklyn Snyder, with her foot on the bag, scoops it up. And that will turn things up to Travelina. The Commodores, their heart of their order. You thought maybe get some damage done, but Frazier, absolutely nothing to show. Strikeout, ground out, and now down to their final out of the 5th inning. Six, 4, 2 outs. That one bounces. 1-0 now on Travelina. Popped out to the shortstop Marmee, then reached on an error by Brooklyn Snyder. Dropped a ball with Crockard right in her ear. Was very frustrated at Crockard, the 1-0. Travelina this time popped out to short again. No problem for the freshman Marmee, so the Commodores go down in order for the first time since the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. And that will do it for the 5th frame with Jefferson-Morgan retaking the advantage. They were tied entering the 5th. We lead the 5th with the Rockets up by a pair after 5 right here on MVI Live.
There's no better way to start your morning than with a fresh cup of coffee, and why not start with the best? 3-time Mon Valley favorite winner, His Place Coffee Community and More, located at 103rd Street in Monessen. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have something for everyone. From our fresh brewed coffee, refreshing cold brews, house-made lattes, fraps, and so much more. If you can't decide 4 days of the week, I'll personally be there to help you craft the perfect drink for your needs. We're also serving up house-made breakfast and lunch paninis, homemade baked goods with gluten and dairy-free options available. We are so much more than just a coffee shop, offering community outreach, including Kids Craft Day and Story Time. There's always something new brewing, and we can't wait to see you at His Place Coffee, Community, and More.
The penultimate frame is upon us, and the Rockets lead by 2. They have not trailed in this game. Addison Howes Gave up runs in the first and second, scoreless through the third and fourth. Gave up a 2 spot after the first 3 batters of the inning reached for Jefferson-Morgan last inning. As Jefferson-Morgan really had a chance to break it wide open. Commodores lucky to still be in this game. Brooklyn Snyder, the lone batter not to hit last inning. 2-0. Again, Houses walked the batter every single inning, including walking in a run as Kalen Novak drew the free pass for the second time today last inning, bringing home Ava Wood for the most recent run scored. Foul ball off the backstop, now 2-1. Commodore baseball team went to 1-0 yesterday, 20-7. The Frazier Commodores were victorious last night. Aiden Hardy, the starting pitcher in that one. Coach Rob Dorkin, his first win as the new head coach of the Frazier Commodores, was a former assistant as he moves to 1-0 in his high school coaching career. 20-7. The Doors, I don't remember the last time Frazier put up that many runs in a baseball game over the past 5-6 seasons. It's been a long time since the Frazier Commodores baseball team has put up a 20-piece, 13-run victory for Frazier. As there's another free pass to start the inning. 6th walk of the game, drawn by Jefferson-Morgan. So Frazier maybe new tenure here, maybe finally having some tools in place as Aiden Hardy. Dalen McManus, the senior this year. Frazier, again, just trying to get the Doors going. Inside the park homers. Did it all up at Wild Thing Park yesterday. 20-7 as ground ball. Saferno on to Short. Hartman drops it, and everybody's going to be safe. And score that a fielder's choice and an E6, allowing Snyder to stay safe. So another error against the Commodores. Fielder's choice is going to be on Bozzoli's ledger now. She's now 1 for 3, or 1 for 4, make it. Second error against Frazier. They've been out hit 8-5 in this game. First pitch, ball 1. Team that projected themselves being better than they were last year. And right now, off to a rocky start to start the season. Two on, nobody out. The 1-0 by Addison Howes. Ground ball out to second. Saferno. Hartman can't get it. This time it's a little high. And another error and another bases loaded, nobody out situation for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. There's Coach Donnie Hartman bringing in his left fielder as well. So Grayson going to go out to left field. So Coach Hartman not too happy with his youngest. So Hartman will replace Zarensky out in left. And Zarensky will head to the circle for Frazier. So pitching change for the Commodores. So Addison Howes will go 5+ innings today. Right now has surrendered 6 runs. Five of them earned. Bases loaded, responsible for all of them. Only 2 of those would be earned. I believe Addison Howes going to take over at shortstop for Frazier, the only other change. So Hartman from short to left. Howes from the circle to short, and Zorensky from left to the circle with bases loaded, and nobody out here for Jefferson-Morgan. Frazier's recorded 2 outs at home last inning, second straight inning with the bases loaded and nobody out for Jefferson-Morgan. Pitch by Zorensky, back to the circle. Zorensky goes to Fisher for one, on to first, double play. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the Commodores get the twin killing. One pitch, Zoe Zorensky, her first one's an absolute dandy. It's a double play that goes 1, 2, 3. Just like that, retiring Snyder at home on the 1-2. Advancing to third is Bozzoli. On to second is Ashlyn Snyder. So 2 outs, runner at second and third. Again, no runs that come across will be earned against Addison Howes here this inning, as this inning should be over with the 2 errors on the Commodore infield. As Zorensky pounds the zone again. Frazier trying to keep their hopes alive. And the freshman, a big double play, is in the precipice of possibly doing that. As little looper, Hartman charges, and Grayson will make the catch on the F7. No runs, no hits, a walk, a couple of Commodore errors. Bases were loaded, nobody out. 2 get left aboard through 5.5 as the Commodores keep the deficit at 2. As Addison Howes' final line score 5+ innings as she surrenders 6 runs. 5 of those are earned as she gave up 8 hits in this contest while striking out 3 and walking 6 batters. She is the pitcher of record right now, but Zorensky was able to come in and clean things up. A 1-2-3 double play, and then the F9 to send us to the bottom of the 6th innings as the Commodores will once again turn their attention to Emily Bozzoli. Bozzoli's been good today. She's given up 4 runs, just 3 of those runs earned by Bozzoli. And twin killing that goes 1-2-3. You get the runner at home, and you keep it a 2-run game. You absolutely take that any day of the week if you're the Frazier Commodores. Now the offense got to get to work harder. The order did nothing last time by. It's Fisher, Hartman, and Burton this time through the order for the Commodores, as that's going to be 6, 7, 8. So 9-1-2 right now is what would be due up in the 7th. That would possibly be do or die for Frazier. Got to start to string some base hits together if you're the Commodores. Frazier has not scored a run with less than 2 outs. Only 1 run in this game has been scored with less than 2 outs, I believe. First 8 worked, at least. Let's go back and check in inning number 5. Single, 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 fielder's choice. 2 runs in this game have been scored with less than 2 outs. That was the last 2 for Jefferson-Morgan. Bases were loaded with nobody out the last 2 innings. If I tell you, hey, you're going to load the bases with nobody out to start 2 straight innings and you only give up 2 runs, I think you got to absolutely say, okay, I will take that. But, yeah, this is not what you're used to seeing from the Frazier Commodores on the diamond. As that one slapped up over the top now, 2-1. Morgan Fisher, infield single, stolen base, was stranded at second in the 2nd. Struck out swinging against Emily Bozzoli back in inning number 4. 1 for 2 on the ledger. Morgan Fisher, the 2-1 home to her, misses now 3 balls and 1 strike. Tying run on deck for the Commodores. 3-1 chopper, back up the middle, stab down Crockert from her knees on to Snyder. 1 up, 1 down on the 4-3 retirement of Morgan Fisher. As Grayson Hartman will be pinch hit for here in inning number 6. So Allie Kibe will bat for Hartman, the freshman. Grayson struck out looking, struck out swinging. So Kibe batting for Hartman here in the 7th spot. Swing and a miss, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 2-run lead for the Rockets of Jefferson-Morgan. One and one as Kibe takes upstairs. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch home up high to the backstop. 2-1 now on Kibe as Emily Bozzoli misses upstairs. And on tap tomorrow, the Sarah Catholic Eagles taking on Leechburg. Looking forward to our first baseball game of the spring season, then back to basketball on the weekend, then we'll go full tilt as Kibe golfs at 1, now 2-2. Kibe trying to keep the Commodores alive here in the bottom of the 6th inning, penultimate inning of work. If Frazier can get 1 here, at least get a base runner and start to move where you're almost going to guarantee you see Grace Vaughn come back to the dish for the Commodores and really feel like you have a chance. Swing and a miss. As there's out number 2, Burton. 2 outs, nobody on. Ground out, strikeout. Most likely we'll see Hartman re-enter. Burton, she's been on base twice, scored a run, walked, reached on an E6. Scored the 3rd run of the game for the Commodores, part of that 2-out, 2-run single by Howes as Burton out to right center, ranging over Teagarden, puts the crab on it, and back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings, another strikeout in the books for Emily Bozzoli. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. As after 6 full innings of play, your score, the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets 6, the Commodores 4. As Jefferson-Morgan trying to add some insurance here in the 7th. Frazier will look to keep it where it's at. And we come back, 1 last inning to play right here on MVI Live.
There's no better way to start your morning than with a fresh cup of coffee, and why not start with the best? 3-time Mon Valley favorite winner, His Place Coffee, Community and More, located at 103rd Street in Monessen. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have something for everyone. From our fresh brewed coffee, refreshing cold brews, house-made lattes, fraps, and so much more. If you can't decide 4 days of the week, I'll personally be there to help you craft the perfect drink for your needs. We're also serving up house-made breakfast and lunch paninis, homemade baked goods with gluten and dairy-free options available. We are so much more than just a coffee shop, offering community outreach, including Kids Craft Day and Story Time. There's always something new brewing, and we can't wait to see you at His Place Coffee, Community and More.
Zorensky back on the bump, trying to keep things at bay. Pounds the zone for strike 1. Addison Teagarden, Alan Novak, and Addie Larkin due up here in the 7th. 0-2 now as that one grounded left side foul. Zorensky came in with the bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th inning. Got a 1-2-3 double play and then an F7. Grayson is back out and left. Actually, the chain which was last inning. Make sure I actually correct that. It was Vaughn moving to short and Howes at third base. That's pop up, near side. One ball, two strikes. Nobody on, nobody out against Zarensky, the freshman. That one misses now, 2-2. Last time the Commodores got the leadoff hitter out, that was back in inning number 4. 3 of the 6 today. Leadoff hitters got aboard and add another. A looping single into center, and Addison Teagarden back-to-back plate appearances with base knocks. And for the third straight inning, Jefferson-Morgan has their leadoff hitter aboard. 9th hit of the game for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. First pitch, swinging liner off the glove of Vaughn. Saferno finds a way as Jayana Saferno lunging out for the ball. And it's going to be a fielder's choice for Callan Novak. And retired, it's going to go down as a 6-4 putout. As Vaughn did get a piece of that one, slowed it down enough. Saferno diving back down, got her foot on it, and was able to keep it on the bag as Jayana Saferno gets a big out, number 1. Pinch runner at first base for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets, as Jefferson-Morgan sending out to run is going to be Breland Wood, the freshman. One out, one on. Grace Vaughn got enough, and then Saferno did the rest. Breland Wood over at first. Gabby Marmee started her high school career 2 for 2, now 2 for 4. She's on deck. It's Larkin. Strikeout, single, walk, fielder's choice, been on base 3 times, scored a run, struck out looking against Howes to start the game. 1-0, now 2-0. Fisher thought about the snap throw down, did not come. 6-4 lead for Jefferson-Morgan. Addie Larkin awaits, swing and a miss. Snap throw to first and throw there, but tag not in time. Two balls, one strike, one out. 2-run advantage for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets. 2-2. As Zarensky works it even. Two-two, popped up, right side of the infield. Under it, and no problem, Jayana Saferno. Saferno thinking that was out number 3. It's number 2. Breland Wood out at first. Big insurance run. Gabby Marmee was talking about her. Started her career 2 for 2. 2 runs scored and an RBI. Now 2 for 4. Can she add one more to her ledger? Pitch comes home by Zarensky. Chopper third. Up with it. Howes high. Travelina able to stab it down. So the Commodores put a goose egg up here in the 7th. Down by 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left aboard. Big play thanks to Jayana Saferno to help keep this a 2-run deficit. Do or die for the Doors here in inning number 7. The home half here on MVI Live as it's 9-1 and 2 up. Saferno 1 for 2 with an RBI or unscored. Howes 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in for Howes. And then 1 for 3 is Zoe Zarensky. Also, again, a big thank you to our friends at TC Customize. We'll have their ad running full circuit by the end of the week here on the network. But again, for all your car customization needs, wheels, rims, tires, along with lift kits and lowering, detailing, full service auto detailing offered at TC Customize. Also remote starts, alarms, custom lighting, tints, accessories, complete custom car audio. They got you covered at TC Customize. Make sure you check out our friends at TC Customize right off Route 51 in Jefferson Hills. And you can call them today at 412-384-5300. Again, our friends at TC Customized. Bottom 7th, do or die, 9-1-2. Doors down by 2. Frazier trying to prevent an 0-1 start on the season. Gianna Saferno takes ball 1. Trying to solve the puzzle, which is Emily Bazzoli. Just one earned run against Bazzoli. That was off a book roll double in the third by Grace Vaughn for the Commodores. Saferno home run in an elevator shaft left side of the infield and squeezed by Marmee. 1 up, 1 down on the P6. Back to the top of the order. Howes has been on base. 2-run single in the 4th. Fielder's choice on a run scored in the 3rd. Hard ground out to first in the 1st. They need base runners. Tying run still just on deck. That's Zarensky, who's 1 for 3 with an infield single, strikeout, and ground out. Howes, slow roller, gets foul, saving Addison Howes for the time being. Second life for the sophomore. One out, nobody on. The 0-1 pitch home to Addison Howes. 1-1 now. Nine-5 hits in favor of the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets in this ballgame. Frazier's went down in order the last 2 innings. Last hit was from Addison Howes, a 2-run single to tie the game. Left side, hard hop. Marmee has it, picked at the other end. No! As Addison Howes will reach on the air. Both teams have committed 3 errors in this game. Can the Commodores make this one count? Tying run, and Zarensky comes to the dish. Zarensky stabs through 1, strike 1. 6-4 lead for the Jefferson-Morgan Rockets here on this gorgeous Tuesday afternoon from Perryopolis. And Frazier has not led in this ball game. It was Jefferson-Morgan up 1-0, then 4-0, 4-1, 4-4, now 6-4. 0-1, Zarensky puts it down, back to the circle. Zoe runs it out. Wide throw, but Brooklyn Snyder hauls it in. So a sack bunt puts the go-ahead run once again back of the dish in Grace Vaughn, but it takes the double play out of order. I don't necessarily think it was intentionally a sack bunt, but got the job done nonetheless. Zarensky, her speed almost beat that out, so runner in scoring position. Commodores down to their final out. Vaughn, a 1-run double earlier today, struck out last AB, takes ball 1. It was the off speed that got Vaughn out in front, but Kabla, big time bat on deck as well, but she's 0 for 3. Pop out, ground out, and a 3 unassisted putout. Vaughn trying to keep the line moving. One big swing away from a tie ball game here in mid-March. As Vaughn now works up in the count, and the question is, do you even, the intentional walk. Obviously, you don't want to put the tying run aboard here if you're Bozzoli. But you know, Grace, one big swing away from this being a knotted up game. 190 down the left field line. 207 and 209 in the alleys. And 213 to dead center. How about a pick and a 1-3 retirement? As Bozzoli said, I'll take that. And that will do it. The Commodores fall here today. No runs, no hits, an error, and one left aboard. Jefferson-Morgan, the Rockets, storm into Perryopolis and pick up win number 1 of the season. As Jefferson-Morgan, a 6-4 final score. Bozzoli was absolutely brilliant in this game. 7 innings of work for Bozzoli. And 6-4 your final, gives up 4 runs, just 1 earned, surrendered for 5 hits in the game while striking out 7. Did issue 1 free pass in the game and moves to 1-0 with the win here today. Jefferson-Morgan, 6-4 victory here today. 6 runs, 9 hits. They did commit 3 errors, and the Rockets left quite a few aboard the base path. 11 to be precise for Jefferson-Morgan, as Frazier got the tying run to the plate in the 7th. Just not enough for the Commodores here in this game. Frazier struggled to get runners aboard all afternoon long, and they fall to 0-1. They will be back in action on Friday against the Carmichael Mighty Mikes here at home, as Jefferson-Morgan to 1-0. We'll recap it for you here on MVI Live. As Jeff Morgan, after a strikeout to start, a single and a walk. Marmee and Snyder after back-to-back, or an out by Bozzoli. It was a ground ball to Grace Vaughn and an E3 that got Jefferson-Morgan up 1-0. Rockets would play in 2 more in the second inning, or 3 more make it after a ground out and a strikeout. It was a walk, back-to-back singles, as Marmee, an RBI single, brought home the likes of Novak, making it 2-0, and then a 2-run double by Brooklyn Snyder would plate both Larkin and Marmee, making it 4-0. Commodores would get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the second, but Hartman would strike out looking after a goose egg in the third. Frazier would get on the board, a leadoff walk, then a fly out. A fielder's choice would bring up Zarensky, who would hit an infield single before a book roll RBI double by Vaughn would make it a 4-1 ball game. Frazier would set down the Rockets again in the 4th inning, and the Commodores would add in the 4th after a leadoff error. Back-to-back strikeouts. It was another error, this time by Marmee, putting 2 on for Saferno. An RBI 2-out single for Saferno made it 4-2. Then a 2-run single by House tied the game at 4. But Jefferson-Morgan would load the bases with nobody out in the 5th. It was a fielder's choice by Crocker that retired Bozzoli 4-2, and Frazier still had the bases loaded with just 1 away, but an RBI single and an RBI walk by Teagard and Novak made it 6-4. Frazier would once again deal with bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th. They got a 1-2-3 double play by Zarensky, then an F7 to Hartman to end inning number 6. Frazier would go down in order in the 5th and the 6th inning, and then in the 7th, a leadoff single, a fielder's choice. Great play by the likes of Saferno, as Vaughn was able to keep it in the infield. Saferno diving as well, got her glove on it, was able to put her foot on the bag, keep it a 2-run game at that juncture through 6.5 innings. Frazier pop up, then an E3 would get the Commodores a base runner. Zarensky would move Howes to second, and Vaughn would ground back to the pitcher. Bozzoli went 7 innings, 4 runs, 1 earned, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, now 1-0. Howes, on the other hand, 5 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned, 8 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 left on base. The game here this afternoon goes 1 hour and 48 minutes. As your winning pitcher again is Emily Bozzoli, now 1-0. Howes 0-1 for the Rockets in a victorious performance. 1 the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the 5th, 6 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors, 11 Rockets left on base. Jefferson-Morgan now 1-0 on the season. Frazier 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 4 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors, 5 left on base. The Commodores now 0-1 on the season. They'll be back in action versus Carmichael's on Friday. Jeff Morgan on the 24th at Albert Gallatin. We'll be back in action tomorrow as Sarah Catholic will take on Leechburg. We'll take on Leechburg tomorrow, so join me for that one. Until next time, I'm Alex Lyon saying thanks for tuning in to our opening broadcast of the season here on the spring season. We'll see you tomorrow right here on MVI Live. Jeff Morgan, 6-4, your final over the Commodores here on this absolutely picture-perfect Tuesday afternoon. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Lions Heart Media on MVI Live.